So overall, I had a really great summer, and I think that the program worked very well. Because Duncan and Margaret just did an excellent job, and they were great to work with. At the end of the summer, we talked with World Vision, and they agreed to continue funding the program at St. Joseph's, so it'll be able to continue now. And also, the library is almost finished being fundraised for, so soon enough the group will be meeting at the library at St. Joseph's. And then also in January, St. Joseph's is planning on expanding the program to include boys. So for me, this summer was incredibly exciting. Had its frustrating moments, had its exhilarating moments. And I just had a really great time. It's really nice to get to know people in this community, to form one-on-one relationships with them, to get to enjoy a meal with them. And it meant a whole lot to me to be able to have this experience. So thank you very much to the Center for Peacemaking and Szymczak for this opportunity.
Are there any questions now?
The mentors, so we made announcements at all of the local churches and mosques in Boy. And then the mentors volunteered, they filled out applications, and we just interviewed them. But it was surprisingly easy to find mentors. I was anticipating that it would be a long process. We made one announcement at all the churches and we found it very easily. Yeah.
What is the mentor?
International affairs. Basically, I think that people do different things with it, different international relations. So, some people maybe work for the UN, some people work for the government. I think maybe I'd be more interested in working for a smaller organization like a nonprofit.
You may have mentioned this, Colin, but how long was the program? 2 months? 3 months? How long were you there?
Yeah. So I was in Boy for 3.5 months. We only had the program running for 9 weeks, but then now it's been going for, I think, almost 4 months.
How was it for you going from spending abroad to going back right away? How was that experience?
Back to the U.S.
Did you go back and forth, or did you stay?
So I studied abroad, and then I just went in Nairobi, and then I just went straight to Boy. So.
Okay, so you essentially extended your stay, actually.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Did you wish that you could come home? Was that exactly what you wanted, staying there that long?
It was exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Once I had been in Kenya for a few months, I just had a great time. I was living with a really awesome family in Nairobi, and I was just excited to be able to stay for a little bit longer.
If you had to replicate the program, or try it again, what are some things that you would definitely do the same, and what are some things that you would change?
Okay. I think that that's a tricky question. I would probably allot a little bit more time every week for the program. Fitting in this group activity and then a snack and then one-on-one mentoring ended up being a little bit tight fit. But in general, I just got really lucky. I just got to meet really great people. All the women were really excellent, and the people I was working with were really awesome too. So, in general, I would leave it the same. Yeah.
Which parts of the program do you think were unique to Boy or even Kenya?
The mentoring program, surprisingly, was actually very unique. I didn't realize this when I first got to Kenya, but they don't really do youth mentoring there. They don't have any sort of big brothers, big sisters, or YMCA mentoring. So working on that part of it was exciting just because it's a cheap way it's a pretty affordable, simple way for kids in the community to have someone who they can at least turn to for some things.
Were you attached to any of the girls?
Yeah. This is Fatima Hassan. She's 15. And this is actually her house. And she's Muslim, and I got to go to the mosque with her, which was probably my favorite experience. And it was going to this mosque, so sharing that with her was really great. It's where Muslim people, it's like a church. Yeah.
What was your biggest challenge?
Maybe, I think I was worried about coming in and like being too pushy, like being this outside American coming in and like trying to start this up. And I mean, I don't know how well I dealt with that. I tried to, just involve as many people who were Kenyans as possible and step back at some points, but maybe I felt like I could step in, just so that this wasn't really my program so much as St. Joseph's program.
What can you do in a typical week? You set this up for Saturday or whatever. What
Right.
was your
I was working at St. Joseph's, so I hung out with Duncan a lot. We would visit kids at the schools and at their houses, just to check on how they were doing. And then also, it took me a surprisingly good amount of time just to organize this really small program, which sort of gave me a new kind of respect for people who try to organize big things. Yeah.
Did you get any resistance from, or just like obstacles that you didn't foresee coming with people in the community or any other issues that came up?
In general, I was pretty surprised at how easy it was to mobilize everything. There were some people who said like, and this is an excellent point too, who said, you're here for 2 months, you're gonna start this and then you're gonna leave. Which I think is an excellent point because, I'm not there for the long term. So we tried to make that work by not having me play the lead role in this, but that was how it went.
I was just going to ask, how did you get in contact with Duncan and
Margaret. Duncan is the social worker at St. Joseph's, who deals with all the orphans and vulnerable children. And then Margaret works for a local theater group, Truth Nurtures Talent in Boy. And so when me and Duncan were first starting to think about the idea, we were just talking with other people to see who might be interested. And Margaret is just incredibly charismatic and came forward and wanted to organize it.
how much of a language barrier was there that how you
Kenya was colonized by Britain, so everyone speaks, or where I was, everyone spoke some English. But in a meeting setting or whenever Kenyans were talking to Kenyans, they usually spoke Swahili, or if they were from the same ethnic group, they would speak their home language. So I learned some Swahili. In general, though, during meetings, I just didn't understand things. But English, I was able to get by with.
So what inspired you to do something like
I mean, just getting the opportunity,
This is my kid, that's what we do.
I don't know. I was having such a great time in Kenya, and then this opportunity was there, and it felt like the right thing. Yeah.
So you did what you have to do in Kenya, but do you think you want to do stuff where it's global peace or just in Kenya? Or do you want to stop at Kenya? Do you want to try to let the whole world see peace?
I think it would be really interesting to let the whole world see. I think right now I'm very interested in going back to Kenya and maybe developing a little bit further what we started here.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that just in watching what Colleen was doing, just in Kenya alone, shows the different dimensions of peacemaking. You know, there's the one-on-one, there's the community building, peacemaking with the earth. Peacemaking extends really everywhere. Everywhere you're creating a community, that's where you're creating peace. You know, look what war does. War divides people from each other. One side dehumanizes the other side demonizes the other. They're not really human anymore. The more we bring together people in the sense of humanity, look at the terrible destruction that war wreaks on the environment. Anybody who's doing something to help the environment is pushing for peace. Anybody who's doing artwork. Art is so creative. Violence is so destructive. So anything that we can do that moves in the direction of creativity, building community, healing, teaching, everything that builds up the human spirit, that's peacemaking. And that's so, Colleen was doing all of those kinds of things, and we can do them not only in Kenya, we can do them pretty much anywhere. So keep this in mind, and please keep looking at our website to see, and dropping by the center. We have wonderful couches where you can just stretch out and fall asleep. And we also have a tremendous store of chocolate at the center, because there's been a lot of studies now done that show that people who eat a lot of chocolate are good peacemakers. Because we actually have a lot of chocolate there for that reason. There are some people who don't like chocolate. They're terrorists, but most of the people, you know, if you can come there, there'll be chocolate and couch, computers. So you can stop by. You're always welcome to visit.